Have you ever wondered how some gay celebrities went from hiding who they were to owning the spotlight and rewriting the rules? In today's video, we're diving into 25-plus queer stars who silenced their critics, not with rage, but with reinvention. From closet to camera, from shame to show-stopping, these men didn't just come out, they leveled up. Fame didn't protect them. In fact, for many, it made the fear worse. But somewhere along the way, they flipped the script. If you believe in living out loud, becoming a member of this channel is the best way to support stories that matter. You'll get early access, behind-the-scenes content, and the power to vote on future episodes. And quick question before we start. Where are you watching from today? Comment your city or flag below, and let's celebrate this global queer glow-up together. Coleman Domingo. From theater background to Oscar-nominated queer power. Then, Coleman Domingo spent years in the background, working in theater, writing plays, and taking side roles in indie films. As a black gay actor, he often felt invisible in an industry that rewarded straight masculinity. Queerness. Keep it subtle. Now, Coleman is now a powerhouse, an Emmy winner, an Oscar nominee, and one of the most respected actors in Hollywood. Whether in Euphoria, Rustin, or Zola, he brings depth, pride, and intensity to every role, and he does it openly, unapologetically queer. From supporting player to leading man, Coleman didn't just wait his turn, he took the damn spotlight. Drop a 1 if Coleman's rise gives you goosebumps. Ben Wishaw, from hidden indie actor to queer screen icon. Then, Ben Wishaw made waves in British indie films with his quiet, haunting performances. He played everyone from poets to spies, but rarely talked about himself. For years, he kept his sexuality private, afraid of industry backlash. Now, Ben lives openly with his husband, and his roles have gotten bolder, queerer, and more complex. As Q in the James Bond franchise and the heartbreaking lead in This Is Going to Hurt, he brings quiet dignity to characters rarely seen on screen. From soft-spoken to screen commanding, his transformation isn't loud, but it's deeply moving. Drop a 1 if Ben's quiet power speaks to you too. Ian McKellen, from Shakespeare to Queer Knight of the Realm. Then, for decades, Ian McKellen was one of Britain's greatest stage actors, but deeply closeted. He feared being out would cost him roles, and for years he kept his truth off stage. Now, at age 49, Ian came out and became unstoppable. From Gandalf to Magneto, he's embodied power and pride. Knighted by the Queen, he now advocates for LGBTQ+ rights globally. His quiet strength and theatrical brilliance have made him a living legend. Drop a 1 if Ian made you believe magic and pride can coexist. Omar Sharif Jr. From legacy name to LGBTQ+ Arab trailblazer. Then, as the grandson of Egyptian film legend Omar Sharif Jr. was born into prestige, but also pressure. In Arab media, queerness was taboo. For years, he worked as an actor and model while keeping his identity hidden. Now, in 2012, he came out publicly, becoming the first major Arab celebrity to do so. He lost jobs, faced backlash, and was disowned by part of his homeland. But Omar stood firm. Today, he's a human rights advocate, UN speaker, and global voice for queer Arabs. His transformation from heir to activist was hard-won, but world-changing. Drop a 1 if Omar's courage helped you believe change is possible, even in tradition. T.R. Knight, from Grey's Anatomy scandal to quiet comeback. Then, T.R. Knight rose to fame as George O'Malley on Grey's Anatomy. But behind the scenes, a castmate's homophobic slur outed him to the press. The spotlight was harsh, and TR chose to leave the show at its peak. Now, he took a step back and then came back stronger. From acclaimed Broadway runs to powerful guest roles in The Flight Attendant and The Comey Rule, TR reclaimed his space on his own terms. Quietly, steadily, he built a career around integrity, not hype. From scandal to sovereignty, his then and now is soft but powerful. Drop a 1 if TR showed you that dignity can be louder than drama. David Archuleta. From idle innocence to queer healing. Then David Archuleta won America's heart on American Idol with his angelic voice and sweet smile. But off stage, he battled with depression, anxiety, and his Mormon faith, terrified of being gay. He tried to pray it away. He almost quit music. Now, in 2021, David came out and began a new chapter. He speaks openly about his mental health, his faith journey, and the pain of hiding. His music is raw, his presence authentic, and his story a beacon for anyone torn between faith and identity. From closeted idol to queer voice of healing, David didn't just survive, he bloomed. Drop a 1 if David's honesty gave you the strength to be softer with yourself. Tom Ford, from silent designer to fashion's queer commander. Then Tom Ford redefined sex appeal at Gucci, but remained discreet about his sexuality. In a world where fashion embraced queerness in aesthetics, it often denied it in power. He kept his personal life low-key while building billion-dollar empires. Now, Tom Ford is outspoken and unstoppable. Married, a father, a director, a single man, Nocturnal Animals, and a mogul, he made the queer gaze mainstream. His clean lines, sharp suits, and unapologetic style became cultural language. From fashion icon to queer storyteller, he proved you can lead with elegance and still break all the rules. Drop a 1 if Tom Ford taught you that style is power, and silence can still roar. Jonathan Bailey, from theater closet to Netflix queer crush. Then, for years, Jonathan Bailey thrived in London theater, starring in plays and musicals while keeping his sexuality a secret. Agents warned him, being out could cost him romantic lead roles. So, like many before him, he played straight off stage too. Now, Jonathan exploded globally as Anthony Bridgerton, the romantic heartthrob of Netflix's hit series. But this time, he didn't hide. He came out publicly and used his fame to talk about queer pressure in Hollywood. Now he's cast in Wicked and other major roles, proving that gay actors can play leads, love interests, and still keep their truth intact. Drop a 1 if Jonathan made you believe queer can still be the main character. Anderson Cooper, from Hidden Air to CNN's Open Voice. Then, Anderson Cooper built his career reporting from war zones and disaster areas, but avoided discussing his private life. As the son of heiress Gloria Vanderbilt, he carried public scrutiny and personal pressure. Now, Anderson came out in 2012 and has since become a rare figure, an openly gay primetime news anchor with global trust. A father, a journalist, and a symbol of calm truth in chaos. His then and now isn't loud, but it's deeply powerful. Drop a 1 if Anderson's quiet courage makes you feel seen. B.D. Wong, from typecast roles to queer TV trailblazer. Then, in the early 90s, B.D. Wong broke barriers as the only Asian American actor to win a Tony for a Broadway performance. But being both Asian and gay in Hollywood, that came with limits. He was cast in roles that required silence, no identity, no complexity. Now, B.D. is out, married, and thriving. He's starred in Law and Order, SVU, Mr. Robot, and Awkwafina is Nora from Queens, bringing queer Asian representation to the screen with power and nuance. He's not just acting anymore. He's shaping the conversation on identity, visibility, and fatherhood. From silenced talent to celebrated pioneer, BD has shown you can be everything they said you couldn't. Drop a 1 if BD Wong's transformation made you feel represented. Jake Shears, from queer glam punk to solo gay icon. Then, Jake Shears stormed onto the scene with Scissor Sisters, bold, half-naked, and too queer for mainstream radio. Critics called it too much. Labels didn't know what to do with a man singing in falsetto about gay sex and disco heartbreak. Now, Jake is still unapologetically loud, proud, and flamboyant. But now he's also a respected solo artist, Broadway star, and published author. He's made being too much into a brand, proving that authenticity sells. From underground to red carpet, Jake Shears didn't tone it down. He turned it up to 100. Drop a 1 if Jake made you love the messy, fabulous parts of being queer. Joel Kim Booster, from bullied kid to queer screenwriter star. Then, as a Korean-American adoptee growing up in a white conservative town, Joel Kim Booster felt like the ultimate outsider. Gay, Asian, and poor, he was bullied relentlessly. Comedy became his armor. Now Joel is a queer powerhouse, writing and starring in Fire Island, the first major gay Asian rom-com. He's touring sold-out stand-up specials, headlining panels, and rewriting queer narratives with bite and wit. From bullied to brilliant, Joel didn't just survive, he rewrote the punchline. Drop a 1 if Joel showed you how to turn pain into punchlines. Nathan Lane, from Broadway closet to beloved gay comedy legend. Then, Nathan Lane was Broadway royalty, starring in The Producers and The Birdcage. But for decades, he refused to come out, traumatized by losing friends to AIDS and fearing it would kill his career. Now, he finally came out after Matthew Shepard's murder, realizing silence was no longer an option. Since then, Nathan has balanced comedy with advocacy, lending his voice to LGBTQ+ causes while racking up Emmys and Tonys. From fear to freedom, Nathan's transformation wasn't loud, it was necessary. Drop a 1 if Nathan helped you understand that timing your truth is its own kind of power. Joel Grey, from Oscar winner to late in life coming out. Then, Joel Grey won an Oscar for his unforgettable role in Cabaret, but off-screen, he lived a carefully crafted life. For most of his decades-long career, Joel stayed silent, fearing being out as gay would erase everything he'd built. Now, in 2015, at 82 years old, Joel finally came out publicly. It shocked fans and inspired countless others. He showed that it's never too late to speak your truth, and never too late to be free. From decades of elegant denial to living his final chapters out and proud, Joel's story reminds us authenticity isn't just for the young. Drop a 1 if Joel's courage proves it's never too late to be yourself. Andre Leon Talley, from Jim Crow South to fashion's queer royalty. Then, born in the segregated South, Andre Leon Talley found refuge in church fashion and Vogue magazines. As a black gay man, the fashion world let him in, but never fully embraced him. He hid his personal life to protect his position. Now, Andre became a legend, creative director of Vogue, author of The Chiffon Trenches, and Red Carpet Royalty. He spoke out in his later years, revealing the loneliness, racism, and silencing he endured. Still, he made luxury, intellect, and queerness inseparable. From margin to monarch, Andre made space where none existed. Drop a 1 if Andre taught you that style is resistance. Ricky Dillon, from YouTube fame to honest queer creator. Then, Ricky Dillon rose to internet stardom as part of O2L, a YouTube supergroup beloved by teens. While others played up hetero crushes and fan service, Ricky stayed quiet, struggling with his identity while facing millions of eyes. Now, in 2020, he came out publicly and began creating from a place of truth. He's now open, relaxed, and using his platform to talk mental health, growth, and queer joy. He may no longer chase viral trends, but what he's building now is real. From closeted content machine to honest creator, Ricky reminds us, relevance fades, but authenticity sticks. Drop a 1 if Ricky's shift from performative to personal inspired you. Lee Daniels, from Hollywood outsider to queer powerhouse. Then, growing up gay and black in a rough Philadelphia neighborhood, Lee Daniels faced abuse, rejection, and deep shame. He escaped through storytelling, but even in Hollywood, being queer and loud about race made him an outsider. Now, Lee broke the mold with Precious Empire and The Butler, films that put queer, black, and marginalized stories front and center. As an openly gay producer, he shattered glass ceilings while confronting his own trauma head-on. From hurt kid to Hollywood heavyweight, Lee didn't just rewrite the script, he burned the old one down. Drop A if Lee Daniels' truth-telling made space for stories that matter. Murray Bartlett, from obscurity to Emmy-winning gay icon. Then Murray Bartlett spent years as a working actor, floating between guest spots and background roles. Openly gay, he faced the quiet discrimination of being too niche for leading parts in Hollywood. Now, that all changed with The White Lotus. His role as Armand, a gay hotel manager unraveling at the seams, earned him an Emmy and global recognition. He followed up with powerful queer roles in The Last of Us and Looking. Now Murray brings depth, rage, tenderness, and authenticity to every performance. From industry footnote to fan favorite, his rise wasn't overnight, but it was worth the wait. Drop a 1 if Murray's late bloom proves it's never too late to shine. George Takei, from Star Trek, silence to loud LGBTQ+ advocate. Then, in the 1960s, George Takei played Sulu on Star Trek, a rare Asian face in Hollywood, but a closeted one. As a gay man in showbiz, he feared coming out would destroy his career, so he stayed silent for decades. Now, George came out publicly in 2005 and never looked back. He's now an outspoken LGBTQ+ activist, author, and internet legend. From sci-fi hero to social justice warrior, his voice is louder than ever, challenging hate with humor and history. Drop a 1 if George's transformation inspires your inner rebel. Robin Roberts, from private anchor to global role model. Then, Robin Roberts was already a respected broadcaster at ABC, but her personal life was off limits. As a black woman in a white-dominated newsroom, being openly gay felt like risking it all. For decades, she chose silence. Now, after surviving breast cancer and a bone marrow transplant, Robin came out in 2013, thanking her longtime partner publicly. Since then, she's become one of the most trusted, beloved figures in American media. Her strength, grace, and authenticity now define her brand. From invisible to invincible, Robin's story proves that when you step into the light, others follow. Drop a 1 if Robin's story gave you strength in your own battles. Some of these stars came out young, others waited decades. But all of them share one thing in common. They didn't let fear win. They proved that transformation isn't just about fame, it's about freedom. About rewriting the story others tried to write for you. About saying, this is who I am, and I'm done apologizing for it. So whether you're out, questioning, or still finding your voice, remember, your then doesn't define your now. And your glow up, it's coming. If you felt seen, drop A in the comments and tell us which story hit you the hardest. Whose transformation inspired you most? And if you want more real stories like this, join our members-only community for exclusive content and early access, because here on Rainbow Spotlight, your story matters, and it's only just beginning.